So this time we're going to look at a new function. As I told you, it would be a little more complex. So what we have is this piecewise function. So what this means is normally our graph is x squared. It's going to be x squared for any value or any number for x except 2. And then when we're looking at 2, this graph will be 3 instead of x squared. And so what I've done here is I've drawn our graph. You can see we have our normal x squared curve, but it's got this circle here. And what this circle is supposed to be is it's supposed to represent a hole or a missing point. So our point isn't here, it's been moved down so that it has a height of 3 instead. Alright, so this is our the new function we're considering or looking at. And so what I want to start with is talk about what f of 2 is. Remember, this is asking us what height or y value does our graph have at 2. So to do this, we're going to go over to 2 at x equals 2, and we're going to go up and see what height the graph has. So when I hit my point, I want to move over, and we see that it has a height of 3. So the function at x equals 2 has a height of 3. Now let's talk about the limit. And just like with our last example, what we want to know is around 2, how does this function behave? And what we're going to see is that the limit is going to allow us to talk about what this function is doing at everywhere besides this point 2. Okay, so we're going to remove our stuff to find the height at 2, and now we're going to try to figure out the limit. Okay, so I like to put a nice line here to help me kind of focus my eye. I'm trying to look around this red line. Alright, and we talked about this with the last example, that I kind of imagine myself walking on the graph, okay? So, like here I am, and I'm going to walk towards that line. And I want to walk towards the line because the line is marking 2 for me, okay? And so what we want to know is, as we walk along this line, what height or what is this function doing? So we're going to walk along and look and see, oh, it looks like it's about 3.5. Then we'll walk along further, it looks like it's a little higher. We're going to walk along further, and it looks like we're almost at 4. Okay, so let's remember that when we were walking along this way, we got really close to 4. Alright, now we want to walk on the other side. So we're going to come down towards our line, and we want to keep looking over. What height are we at? Oh, well, maybe 4.25. So we keep walking down. Now it looks like it's 4.8. We keep going, or 4.2, my bad. And as we keep going down, it looks like, again, that height is getting closer and closer to 4. So that's what we'd say the limit is. And this is really important. This is why limits are so helpful. Even though at 2 our function had a height of 3, the limit tells us that around 2 this graph is doing something very different.